In my A2 brief, I've researched in a more sophisticated way in comparison to my AS brief. For my AS coursework, I decided to find out my audience by providing questionnaires that helped me appeal to them. Although this was a quick and easy way of exploring my audience's interests, the questions were not open, which meant that it limited my response from my audience. Therefore, for my A2 work, I decided to construct a focus group. Like the questionnaire for AS, I put together a series of questions, but this time I was able to get an open response by being able to have a discussion with them about the question. Here, by having open questions, I was able to receive helpful and informative feedback from my audience that allowed me to improve my film and that it would enable for them to be attracted to it. My focus group was also able to add in other opinions in these meetings, which allowed me to identify new problems or ideas that I had not seen in my pitch. Another way I improved my research phase was by researching different directors and photographers to help me create a style for my film. By researching these artists, it helped me form representations of my characters and locations, which makes my film a conventional mystery thriller. I didn't do this in AS, which made it harder for me to choose certain camera shots, lighting and editing to make my opening sequence fit my genre correctly. For my A2 research, I looked at the photographer Dan Winters because of his photographs capturing a tense atmosphere by highlighting the light on his model's face whilst creating a dark background in contrast. Here, this gave me an idea to use this type of lighting in my film because of my film being a mystery thriller, and therefore this lighting made my film conventional. By researching this photographer, it also enabled me to make effective representations for my characters and locations by this type of lighting highlighting emotions of fear and suspense. I used technology in the planning stage of my product by creating an animatic storyboard. An animatic storyboard is a storyboard that presents how sound will be used in the film, which gave me a clear display of how my film would take place regarding timing. This benefited me when I got to the editing stage, where I needed to edit the footage together, but this process was made easier because I was able to follow the sequence of my animatic storyboard. This shows how my planning is better in my A2 rather than my AS, because the animatic storyboard goes more into depth on how my storyboard will flow, including by regarding the sound and timing. By not using an animatic storyboard for my AS, it meant that when I got to the editing process, I noticed some errors regarding timing and sound which didn't work out. I used technology also in the construction stage of my project by using editing software Final Cut to edit my film. This was an effective use of technology by Final Cut being simple to use whilst also enabling my film to have a professional look to it. By using this type of editing software, I was able to solve errors in my film which would damage its quality. For example, when I filmed the shot where Lucy walks into Rachel's house, there was an unwanted noise in the background which would distract my audience from the narrative. Thus, by using Final Cut, I was able to edit this noise out, which has made my film have a more professional look without me having to refilm the shots. Therefore, technology in the construction stage has proved to be effective because I had the ability to edit shots that did not come out right rather than refilm these shots, which would be time consuming. I also used a consumer camera in the construction stage of my project, which I used for filming these scenes. I used a Nixon to film my scenes, which was effective because the camera was easy to use due to the settings on it already suiting the scenes I had to film. But this camera also captured high quality images, which gave my film a professional look to it. Here, because of democratization, I've been able to access a consumer camera, which has made this process of filming quick and easy by it being designed for the public. I use technology in the evaluation stage of my product by presenting my evaluations with a voiceover and putting my findings on Tumblr and YouTube. This shows how I've used technology because I constructed a voiceover video of my evaluation and posted it to YouTube. I've been successful in putting my evaluation onto a popular platform. This indicates how incorporating 21st century technology into my project, which reflects the use of technology throughout to appeal to my target audience. I also use technology by uploading my work to Tumblr and YouTube, which are wide platforms that are accessible by anyone. This was useful because my target audience, who are teenagers to young adults, use these websites commonly.